Welcome back to Bumblebee. You know why you're here. I'm me, Taylor McWaters, you're you. I don't know your name. It would be weird if I knew your name. Imagine that if I just said your full name here on YouTube. Here are the top 10 secret locations hiding in famous landmarks. Let's get creepy. Number 10, the Brooklyn Bridge Wine Cellar. Ah, yes, here we go. I'm not a wine guy myself, but I respect sommeliers. They're always bald and walking around fast and they know what they're talking about. It's great. They have books about wine just stored in their heads at all times. Explains why they're bald. They're always so stressed. They know everything about grapes and they're pretty cool. What a dream job, right? Wine is a lifestyle to many. So if you live in New York City and you're a big fan of Merlot, well, I've got the news for you, my friend. The Brooklyn Bridge connects Manhattan and Brooklyn, obviously, and it was built back in 1883. Now, at the time, it was the longest bridge in the world until 1903, and then, well, it wasn't anymore. Chief Bridge Engineer John A. Roebling, as well as his son, Washington Roebling, they worked into the building plans in order to help the city financially. After, spending $15 million on a bridge, they worked in 2 wine cellars, one on each shore. Not bad, right? It's a nice way to bribe officials. They're like, hey, I'll throw in a bottle of Merlot. Sounds good? All right, cool. They also put in other chambers that could be rented out, so it's a pretty good plan, I'm not gonna lie. The plan worked, and over the following 40 years, wine was stored in the dark, cool granite cellars. Here we go. Let's do a nice wine heist. Number 9, Vatican Secrets. The archives are 53 miles long, and there's around 35,000 volumes of catalog, so yeah, put on your reading glasses for this one. The Vatican secret archives are also no joke. They're very real, but in order to see them for yourselves, well, it's gonna take some time. You have to start yesterday, I believe. The indexes, of course, they aren't public, hence why I'm including them here. Only highly respected scholars can access them after they're 75 years old. Yeah, you must be this old to read these old books. Their official purpose is to house the Holy Seer's official paperwork, and of course, it's a treasure trove of anything and everything related to the Pope, as well as these long-lost ancient documents, because, where else do you safely store a letter from Mary Queen of Scots, right? What, at the bank? You're gonna keep a letter from Mary Queen of Scots at your bank? Dudes are out here hucking cakes at Mona Lisa, spraying oil and stuff. We're gonna keep these ancient notes locked away for good. Now, when it comes to cursed items withheld from the public, a note from Queen Mary of Scots, it's definitely up there. There's some weird stuff in there. There's also a secret room that contains the 200-foot tall Tower of the Winds, only accessible by these, you guessed it, secret archives. I wanna see a Tower of the Winds. What? Number 8, Medici Chapels. This one begins with an epic discovery. How fun is that? So back in 1975, the director of the Medici Chapels Museum in Florence, Italy, he was searching for a new exit route for visitors. Why not, right? Just a new place to leave. Sure, let's get things going, He was trying to expand whilst controlling traffic a little easier, right? We love big moves. He's smart. But in doing so, the director stumbled across the secret trap door hiding beneath a closet. Some Indiana Jones stuff right there. What a cool find. There also lies a few clues on the walls. There are sketches and drawings and stuff, the style of which seems to belong to one Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, this was crazy. This room was immediately closed for renovations. It was held a secret until 2020, so for this long, it was widely unknown. Hit that thumbs up if you've already learned something. And if not, well, keep watching. There's more, alright? We got like 7 more. Number 7, restricted Aboriginal art. While some collections are kept out of sight for museum visitors because they're, scandalous in nature, like that, like the Pompeii art that I was referring to last time. It's a bit scandalous. Others are kept in secret rooms out of respect. Yeah, it's a nice change of pace. In the National Museum of Australia, for example, David Couse, senior curator of the museum's Aboriginal programs, he wrote this long report explaining the choice to hide many artifacts from history and from the public. David himself has said, quote, that it is the responsibility of museums to respect the cultures that they want to depict properly. The public use of Aboriginal secret and or sacred objects is not consistent with said responsibility, end quote. Yeah, more than fair, right? In order to gain access to these restricted Aboriginal objects and see them for yourselves, these beautiful pearl shell ornaments, things like that, you'll need permission from traditional Aboriginal custodians. So yeah, you're gonna have to work for it, alright? Can't just get a fast pass for this one, Carol. Number 6, the live Beetle room. Okay, this one you're not gonna wanna see. No pass for this. This one I don't want to see at all. Chicago's Field Museum, you've probably heard of it. This one's full of secret rooms. Like the flesh-eating beetle room. Yeah, can you imagine this exhibit on a field trip, walking in here by accident? Whoops. The Field Museum uses hide beetles, like real-life alive beetles, to clean all of its specimens. To clean them bone dry. Nothing left. Nothing. The little mouths ate them. In order to get each of these carcasses ready for showtime, they gotta clean them real good. And these beetles, they're just the guy. They're on the clock. They're business-oriented. And luckily Luckily for us, they're very hungry. In just a few hours, a small rodent can be completely cleaned. Nothing but bones left. That's disgusting. Impressive, really. Good stuff, guys, but also, I'm gonna throw up. Number 5, the Metro 2. Should have done this for number 2. That would have been fun. During the time where Stalin was in power, it is said that he instructed that an underground secret transport system would be built. It was then known as Metro 2. Now, this mysterious underground system is said to connect different administrative institutions, and it's even rumored that it contains apartments and different technical rooms. Apartments? How much is rent? 0 windows? I'm like, you know what? It's kind of nice. I'm a dark guy myself, like to hide in the shades. Of course, it's now completely blocked off to outsiders or the general public. That's why it's on this list. And while the Moscow Metro administration denies that these tunnels even exist, there are many believers out there. And there's also some brave urban explorers who went and looked for themselves. Back in 1994, that group claimed to have found the entrance. Yeah, how fun is that, right? They're like, we found it. Just zip line in. They're like, don't do it. Would you go in? Would you find some underground metro tunnels? I don't know. We have some in Toronto. We have a secret subway station underneath our base station. So I don't know. If you want to wait twice, there you go. There's a secret one below. Just as dangerous. Number 4, underground tunnels. Yeah, on the theme of tunnels, let's keep it going. In a place like Disney, like, you know, not Russia, Disneyland, there has to be room for employees to take a breather, right? That much time and character, all those high fives and hot weather. I've done mascot work for theme parks. It's hot and sweaty. It's horrible. It's not the easiest job. It's pretty fun. It's okay. But they're human beings too, okay? They need to take breaks, clock in, clock out, go eat a ham sandwich with no mustard. Where does that magic happen? Well, this needs to be away from the public eye. You can't have people watch Mickey Mouse eating his lunch and take his head off and go for a smoke break. No way. That's gonna ruin the magic for sure. So instead, Disney has hidden underground tunnels, right? To move characters around the park without worrying about, you know, blowing it or getting caught in large crowds. During the earliest park days, Walt Disney himself saw a cowboy from Frontierland walk through Tomorrowland, and it just didn't make any sense. This guy slept with it. It was keeping him up at night. He's like, oh, the continuity doesn't make any sense. A cowboy in space, what? So, solutions, right? So he put in 392,000 square feet of underground tunnels, and there we go. Now the magic's hidden below, and we all think that cowboys are real. I don't know, I do. Number 3, the Paris Catacombs Theater. Here we go. Let's go see Avatar 2 at this one. It'll be fun. See, originally these tunnels were built for Paris stone mines, but near the end of the 18th century, it turned into something a little more haunting than that. Cemeteries were starting to fill up, literally at this point. Humans didn't figure out the cleanliness thing, so bodies would be laying around on the side of the road. It got so bad that the solution was to use these catacombs. So now that's why they're full of bones. That explains all the bones when you walk in. That, you know. Back in 2004, French police discovered something not too terrifying underneath. They found a small movie theater hidden underneath the city in the Paris Catacombs. Yeah, just sitting on a pile of bones watching Scooby-Doo. I don't even know, like, who can do this? Like, the bravery involved here. There's also a tiny restaurant as well, in case you got your snack on before the movie. 7 years later, the leader of UX, Urban Experiences, they came forward and said that there were over 100 people that had been working on this movie theater, and it was supposed to be this new underground experience until they got caught. I don't know, again, could you do it? Imagine watching As Above, So Below in a theater in the Paris Catacombs. Kind of cool, but I kind of feel sick thinking about it. I'm good. I like my movie theaters up on land, and then I like coming out and going, oh, what time is it? It's so bright. Number 2, Trafalgar Square. Come on down to Trafalgar Square. We got little tiny police stations. We got little Brits and little tiny police stations. You won't even notice. Back in 1926, strikes, protests were every other week. It's almost like, you know, increase to labor and a 13% wage cut is a bad thing. I don't know, something like that, odd. So workers in every industry back then, they all went on strike. They stopped working for 9 days, and most of these protests would happen in London's Trafalgar Square. So in order to keep an eye on things without looking like, you know, keeping an eye on things in 1926, instead the police built a tiny little secret police station in one of the large light posts. So no one really knew, but they were in there and they were secretly watching. Imagine if your dog starts peeing on the post and all of a sudden 15 police officers rush out. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Next time you're in Trafalgar Square, take a look. There might be a little tiny police station just right over there. Could be right there. That could be a police station right now. It's not, it's a light. And finally, number 1, the Eiffel Tower apartment. Look, I'm not great with heights. Not really the best. I live on the 11th floor, and let me tell you, that's already way too high. My legs get all shaky. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm tall already. I don't know, I don't like it. But this last one here, it gave me a hard time today. Above the Eiffel Tower, above the main observation deck, like higher up. When it was completed back in 1889, Gustave Eiffel, the, Mr. Eiffel who made the blueprints himself, he included for himself a sweet little condo at the very top. What a dream, right? He drew it in, he's like, oh, it's gonna be sweet. Now this 100 square meter room sounds spacey, but it was full of gear. The elevator shaft was there. Honestly, it was like Harry Potter's closet in comparison to the rest of the house, It wasn't great. For a tall fellow like me, I'd be sweating. This room had a kitchen, a bathroom, thank God, and a living room, so it was quite comfortable. God forbid you open a window. Papers would be all over the place. Gustavo's hair must have been so messy all the time. That's crazy. I'm not good with heights. Are you good with heights? Comment down below. If so, you're brave. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time on Bumblebee.